LeBron is out for a handful of weeks, it sounds like. Our period of weeks was the reporting, which sucks because for the last 3 months or so, LeBron's been the best player on the team. I don't think that's crazy to say. I mean, it's crazy to say because he's 40 years old, but LeBron has just been playing at a completely and totally different level. Really, since the turn of the calendar year. They're going to be without him for an extended period of time. They're without Jackson Hayes as well, which hurts. They're without Rui Hachimura, which does hurt. They're losing some size. They've now lost 2 straight games. They lose to the Boston Celtics, a game that I thought that they were, all things considered, not having a center. LeBron gets hurt. The game was kind of out of reach at that point anyways. No Rui Hachimura, which, without size. Against a team where you would like to have more size than not. I didn't think they were terrible against the Celtics, to be honest with you. They were without Dorian Finney-Smith in this game, yes. I didn't think they were terrible. They made it. How close did this game get? It was this really did feel like the first, fake comeback, if you will. The Luka era of the Mavs, Luka era Mavs. No stranger to the fake comeback. Why is that a thing though? Because Luka's that good. They got it down to 4 with 5 minutes left at one point. That's the closest it got. So that's to me, I'm going to be real. 4-point game with 5 minutes left. That's not really a fake comeback. Like, you're in that game. Fake comeback is like 30 down to 10, right? We stab padded a little bit there at the end. Down to 4. I don't know if I can call that fake. Like, that was the Christmas Day game, the Mavs Christmas Day game. It was like, that was a fake comeback. It was like, they had a chance to win the game. Like, they took a shot that would have put them ahead in the last minute. Like that, I don't know how fake that is. Now, that being said, some of the concerns reared their ugly head in this game for the Lakers. And this is what makes Luka Luka. And this is why Luka's so good, is that he could have an objectively bad game. Like, I don't think you could watch this game and thought, at least for the first 3 quarters, Luka was good at all and still have 34 points. An efficient 34 points. And that's why the fake comeback thing is real, because Luka's so good that he could turn it on in the 4th quarter, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game. Because Luka's hit a few threes, he's gotten to the free throw line. But anyways, I didn't think that was that bad. With all things considered, on the road, the Celtics really wanted that game. Tatum played 45 minutes. I don't think that was that bad. Then they go to Brooklyn and lose. This one was pretty bad. That wasn't Boston playing a Game 7. Be serious. No, that was not like Boston playing a Game 7, man. Boston Celtics are really good. They're really good, and they're starting to reach this point where, I don't know. You watch them, you're just like, man, they're going to win again, aren't they? So, do you think Lakers can beat Celtics when fully healthy? No. I watched the Celtics, and it's just like, man, is it going to be them again? I really want to tell myself the Cavs can do it. I want to believe right here. I want to believe right here in my heart, that the Cavs can do it. The Orlando Magic don't get enough hate for being complete dog shit. I'm feeling kind of weird about that, generational hater, and your name fits, by the way. Let me look at generational hater. I've seen 2 messages from you in the chat. Lakers are not a contender, and the Magic don't get enough hate for being complete and total dog shit. He's living up to his name. Where's my mouse? My mouse is missing on my screen. All right, we found it. Losing to the Nets is suspect as fuck. All right. I'm one of the biggest Dallas haters out there. No offense. And I can hardly bring myself to hate. All right, okay. All right. Hey, generational haters living up to his name. But anyways, look, I love the Magic, right? You guys know there's been like a connection. I love them. I'm kind of here to hate on them a tiny bit, only because how annoying people have been. Only because of how annoying people were earlier in the season, when I was like, guys, I think Kid's doing a fine job, and I hate to bring this up again, but I'm going to. I think Kid's doing a fine job. And everyone's like, dude, look what Jamal Mosley's doing with the Magic. And I was like, they're not that good. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? They have like the same record. Anyways, let's get back into this. The Lakers lose to the Nets. I mean, Lakers fans are panicking. I've seen it, right? That's to be expected. I'm here to say, and I can say this now, outside viewer looking in, I'm not rooting for nor against you. I know losing, like at this point in the season, you're fighting for the 2 seed. Losing to the Nets isn't the best thing. But also, again, you're without LeBron. You're without any real functioning center, right? You're without Rui. You're without Dorian Finney-Smith in this game. I know it sucks, but Reaves, yeah. I mean, Reaves is on a really bad stretch here. And if he doesn't figure it out just a little bit, then that's concerning, because the idea of you being the real legitimate contending team that you really could be in the playoffs is having this sort of 3-headed monster offensively. And I think if Luka finds consistency in his shot and LeBron comes back healthy, you could definitely survive with just those two. But this has been kind of an extended stretch here where Reaves has been struggling from the field. And that's a little alarming, but I don't know. I think it could just be one of those things, you know. You go through highs and lows over the course of the season. Last 10 games for Austin Reaves, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 36% from the field, 32% from deep. Still getting to the free throw line at a high clip, though. 6.5 free throw attempts a game over that stretch for a guy like Reaves. He is absolutely... No, it's been about 10 games of rough shooting from the field. But again, he gets to the free throw line at a decent enough clip that it does it kind of evens out for him. And he is a full-fledged flop artist. Okay? Like Luka grifts, Shai grifts, all of the great offensive players grift, right? That goes without being said. Reaves is just out there doing shit. Luka... So if this were a Mavs game, this is one of the ones that would have gotten me in some trouble, for sure. This is one of the ones that would have gotten me in some trouble. I cannot stand these type of games from Luka, man. I can't do it. I don't like them. I don't like them. I thought playmaking-wise, it was great. Lots of turnovers, and I want to excuse Luka a little bit on the turnover front, because the Mavericks reached a point, especially towards the end of the season last year with D-Live, with Gafford, with PJ in the middle of the floor. The Mavs reached a point where when Luka would get blitzed, trapped at half court, double teamed, it was just like a machine, right? It was a machine. They knew exactly where to be on the floor. And I think that's a big reason why at the start of the season, you saw teams really go away from defending Luka like that, because it was just, he's so good at passing out of these. The Mavericks have figured this out. They know exactly where to be on the court. Derek Lively's so good in these 4-on-3 situations, getting downhill and playmaking out of it, that it's honestly better for us to not do this. Last night, especially with the team that the Lakers were rolling out there, the Nets were trapping him at half court, doubling him at half court, and they did a good job defensively. They forced some turnovers. Luka maybe had some sloppy passes, but I think a lot of it is the Lakers just sort of trying to figure out how to play off of that. Paul with the $2. LA's D is bad when James isn't there to crack whip. LeBron's captaining their defense, man. So, a high turnover game for Luka. I would say with his usage, 5 turnovers. I mean, the 5 is a big number, but 5 turnovers isn't that insane. 12 assists to 5 turnovers is perfectly fine. What a toxic MFFL chat. I'm out. What is toxic in here? If you think this is the toxic part of chat, man, you have not been in here when it's actually toxic. You've not been in here when it's actually toxic. A bad shooting game for Luka, but the thing, Luka played himself out of this game. This was one of those. Luka was so frustrated with the officials in this game. And did he have a gripe? Sure. Did he have a gripe? Sure. Was he officiating great? No. He knows the officiating is not going to be great on a regular basis. He knows that. He knows he's not going to get a lot of calls. This has been the case his whole career, right? It's been the case his whole career. It's going to be the case his whole career. He played himself out of this game. A lot of times hanging back behind the play, complaining to the officials. A lot of times, and this was the one that pissed me off the most, where he would spend off like several offensive possessions in a row, trying to force the officials to call foul because he feels like he's getting fouled. So he puts up a terrible shot, or tries to draw contact when there's no contact, and just throws up a horrible miss. And the Nets got transition opportunity off of that because it was just a long rebound. And Luka's hanging out behind the play. So he used to do this with Dallas. If he doesn't get a call, he starts foul baiting and proving them wrong. He gets himself out of the game because of stubbornness. Yeah, I know. I've talked about it all the time. I agree. Like these are things that need to get out of the game for him. You can March 11th game against the Brooklyn Nets, whatever. He's frustrated. Okay, I can excuse that, right? But I do hope that it's at some point this leaves him. I really do. That last three was crazy. A classic Luka shot right there. And I do want to say this, because the amount of crying, and I gotta take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of the people I see crying on Twitter cry all the time about everything. So you can't take their cries with any real serious. You can't, like, their cries way differently than other people's crying. Their cries way differently, right? But the official stuff. Luka's free throw rate right now is high since the Lakers. He's getting a foul call on nearly 11% of his drives. That would be the highest of his career. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of conspiracies that his whistle's gotten worse since joining the Lakers. I have not picked up on that whatsoever. I've not picked up on that whatsoever since I've been watching them. I don't think that that's grounded in reality whatsoever, to be honest with you. Is his officiating going to be fair? No, it's not. I talked about this a million times. Guys like him, guys like Jokic, guys like LeBron, these guys who play with a lot of strength, these guys who get downhill, these guys who play through contact, who initiate contact, who seek out that contact. Because, a guy like Luka, he gets downhill, he gets you on his shoulder, he can bump you off. He's so fucking strong. He can bump you off. Like, that's what he's trying to get into, right? That's how he's not like this uber quick twitch athlete. So that's how he generates space a lot of the time. And yeah, that's the refs are going to let a lot more contact go with those type of guys. It's the same thing with Jokic, the same thing with LeBron historically throughout his career. So, just have to kind of accept that at this point. I mean, he has to, the best that he can. Because I do feel like this game he played himself out of it. Because he was so mad at officiating. We've seen it. We've seen it in big games as well, which is the most, a random game in March against the Brooklyn Nets. But I'm saying we've seen it in big games. Watch Shai and Luka's whistle. It's a disgrace. Their free throw rates are pretty similar, aren't they? I mean, Shai grifts in a different way. But I do. Doesn't Shai lead the league in points without free throws too? I would say go and really watch Shai's fouls, and I point me to the ones that you're really upset about. Because honestly, like, I'll see Shai shot X amount of free throws, and then you watch, and it's like, well, he got fouled. He got fouled. Luka gets his free throws naturally. Shai grifts for every free throw. Luka grifts for free throws as well. Luka also grifts. They grift in different ways. The one where he leaned into Westbrook, yeah, that one was bad, and you're gonna have a few that are bad. Bro, do you watch Shai? No, I don't watch Shai at all. Shai doesn't get fouled on 80% of his free throws. All right, you're just making up shit. Now we got to make a whole fucking video compilation just to call someone a free throw merchant. Just watch him play. I don't think Shai's a free throw merchant, though. Doesn't he lead the league in scoring minus free throws? The Shai's an unbelievably gifted scorer. He's not a free throw merchant. Shai's game just generates fouls. Shai's just like literally unguardable. His combination of skills are so incredibly rare that he is unguardable. No, Shai's nowhere near as bad as Embiid was. Embiid was on some embarrassing shit. Seriously, some legitimately embarrassing shit. He's a good scorer, nothing special. I can't get on like the hater wave that you guys are on. Like I can't even imagine it, truthfully. Just like completely and totally lying about a player. Like just being so completely off about a player just because like I don't want to admit that he's good is insane to me. What do you mean he's a good scorer, nothing special? You think Shai's a good scorer, nothing special? He's an incredible scorer, man. Do you think Shai will average more or less points in the playoffs this year than his regular season average? He's close to 33. I think ideally you'd want J-Dub to sort of pick it up a little bit because I'm sure defenses will hone in a little bit more on Shai in a 7-game series, right? It's going to be a lot of J-Dub, you have to beat us. And J-Dub went out with an injury last night, so we'll see. J-Dub, you have to beat us. Chet, you have to beat us. I'd have to imagine that happens. I thought the slightly biased audience wanted Shai to win MVP over Jokic. By and large, most people do not like Shai. But also, the MVP race last year tainted Jokic for some people. So, I don't hate Shai, but Stephen A. Smith is really pissing me off, openly not considering Jokic. We're going to get into the MVP stuff probably tomorrow is what I want to do. MVP stuff. Because I haven't really dove deep into it. And I was doing I've watched the Nuggets and the Thunder games over the past weekend, but also just kind of looked into it. It's much closer than I actually thought. Like in my mind, I was like, it's got to be Shai. Shai's the top 3 player in the league. I don't like that he plays for the Thunder, and I don't like that he plays the same position as Luka, so they get constantly compared, but I have to admit, my thing was always this, especially when it looked like the Mavs were still a championship contender and there was a real rivalry. It's just like, I get the banter side of it. I get shitting on the other team, but like, and I feel the same way for Thunder fans too. And then I felt the same way about Celtics fans. Like Celtics fans being like, oh, the Mavericks actually sucked. Like, why would you want to say that? Honestly. Like, it makes you look better if you're like, no, the Mavs were actually nice last year. Like, they were good. Mavs were good. Luka's great. Like, the Celtics were just that much better. Like, what's the, Thunder fans, yeah, Luka sucks and the Mavericks suck. I hate them. Okay, that's true. You can hate them. That's good. But it's more fun as a rivalry if you're like, yeah, Shai's a motherfucker. Which is what makes this rivalry so much more fun. Like the Suns, when the Mavs Suns rivalry is good, like it's okay to say D-Book's really fucking good because it makes it more fun. Is Luka still top 5? I mean, this year he has not been a top 5 player. No, he's not. That's what people named Steve. I had an uncle named Steve. Not really an uncle, like one of those things you grow up and there's like, it's your Uncle Steve. Confusing as a kid. I was like, is that actually my uncle? Or is this just like one of those things? Luka top 10 anymore? would be really hard to imagine. I mean, I'd have to sit down and map it out, but it'd be really hard to imagine Luka is not a top 10 player anymore. She's like James Harden, great regular season, fall off in playoffs. I mean, that's obviously not true. Shai was incredible in that series last year. Anyways, this game, I don't know. Dalton connects. What am I missing, guys? So when the trade didn't go down, I was like, you got to at least get Dalton connect. I was just kind of like, eh. I guess like getting connected would be cool, sure. I'm not. I don't know what I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not a connect guy, to be honest with you. Show us the MVP page on Basketball Reference. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Reaves, yes. You should have got Reaves. Connect, yeah. I think Connect is better than Christie. I'd rather have Max Christie. Honestly, just wish we got Reaves as well. Yeah, it would help. So anyways, not the end all be all this game. I don't think there's any like overarching things that you could really take away. Just a rough shooting night for Luka and Austin Reaves combined. And those two being like your main focal points offensively without LeBron. Tough to win games when those two combined to go 11 of, what is that? 11 of 40? Man, jeez. Tough shooting. Suns are terrible. Yeah, the Suns are terrible. So anyways, yeah, that's it. And just I hope at some point Luka gets to the point where these games are out. Because the complaining to the officials has been that's why mentally it looks like he is back. He's ready to go. That was one of the things. Early when Luka got traded to Lakers, you're watching, he's just kind of going up and down the court, not even getting mad at the refs. That's when it's like, man, something's wrong. Like he's really not in it. Like mentally, he's just not there. He's not even yelling at the refs, man. But now it's starting to go up and up and up and up. Now it's like, all right, Luka's getting there. He's starting to get there mentally. Starting to get there mentally.